Hello everyone, are you ready for another adventure? It's me, Wokey, and I'm back with another Fake Grand Order video because it is the third stage challenge. It's here, and it's finally the last thing we're going to be grinding for 7 days in the Lotto. So for today's video, just like the other three, I'm just going to be grinding the Lotto for a bit. What's the team I'm going to be using this time? Well, first of all, the boss this time is Riders, an Avenger, and Archers, which is a bunch of weird amalgamations of a bunch of things. So I just went with this team right here. I'll explain it as we go in. But this is the basic setup. Pretty simple. Nothing too crazy. It's simply a big beater NP5er being joined in with some anti-divine. So the basic thing here is make sure to buff up the main thing for Ibuki right here and not to use that third skill. Use this. Go for here. Go there. Drop him here. Go there. Continue to go here. It doesn't matter who gets this buff, but I'll give it to Ibuki. But I have to make sure to get it for Christmas Martha, Santa Martha. And then we can go in and go here. So if you don't know what Santa Martha's NP does, on the overcharge it gives healing, but on the basicness it gives 20% attack up. And then, based on MP level, a bonus against the undead, the divine, and one other thing, depending on the NP level. At NP level 1, it's 30%. She's a free unit, so obviously I have her at 50%. So she's given a 70% bonus to damage to Ibuki here. But the thing I care about is the divine, because on turn 2, it is our girl here, Naito, and then I have to activate this to give her the attack up and the MP gauge up. The reason I do it here is because otherwise there's a chance that I think with this, even if you, unless I really badly low roll, she should just kill with the Noble Phantasm. And if she does low roll, then I think they'll still be left with like maybe 1,000 or so. We'll see. Yeah, 2,000, which at that point it doesn't matter who's left. It's fine if it's Ibuki, but if it literally at 2,000, anyone could pick that up. Especially with their bonus to riding damage with the CE that they have. And then this last one's pretty simple. There's actually, that's a lie. There is one thing I have to take note of, and I forgot to figure this out when picking the support. I should have kept mine in there. So, here's the fun thing. I'm going to click it and see what happens. Okay. So, it should be fine. Everything's fine because now he should die or come pretty close to it. So unfortunately, because he is divine, he has the ability to shake off debuffs, which is very unfortunate because Santa Martha's debuff that she applies, which is minus 20 defense to minus 20% to defense, makes it so that I can just kill with the Noble Phantasm right away. But if for whatever reason it triggers twice, or if it doesn't trigger until the first one and it goes from there, it's bad times for me. But there you go. And that's with none of the damage C or anything else. Oh, I'm so glad no one can yell at me for using my apples here. The Lotto is the only event where people will yell at me saying, "Don't you use your apples?" instead of wondering why am I using apples. Every other event that I ever do, someone will usually come in and say, "Why are you using apples for this? Shouldn't you be saving?" And then when it comes time to save, it's like, why do you have so many apples? It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, that's with a full setup of... One of the cats just making a note? No, she's fine. That's with a full setup of Lotto CEs. So that's very cool. +6. Very nice. I was trying to figure out a way. The thing I was going to say is that I needed a support with this kind of NP. So the fallback plan is that I have to then use Castoria's NP if I, for whatever reason, miss on everything. You know, just in case as a fallback plan, that extra bit of damage she gives should be enough to help out, but... You know, I'm just gonna cross my fingers and say I'm never gonna need it. It's that simple. It's a big-ass woman getting all them Christmas cookies and stuff. You don't realize how tall Summer Ibuki is, or I guess Ibuki is in general, until you see her next to the other very small members of her team. One of her thighs is like the size of Castoria. And then the other thigh is Santa Martha. Anyway, Oh, I forgot to give him. It's fine. I was like, what happened there? Why was it a little bit left over? But it's fine. Use that to give him the little buff. Go here, see if I low roll again. But I shouldn't. Come on, I don't need sacrifices. Big smile. Big water dragon thingy. Yeah, there you go. Just barely enough. And yeah, this is the team I figured out for now. I'll go back and look to see if there's anything more I can do once I've gone crazy into grinding. Did it happen? Okay, no, it didn't. He keeps blocking the first one. That first one is being a champ here and taking in all the... He's buffing the MP blocker, but he's like, whatever, I'll take more defense, it's okay. And I bet you're thinking, he's like, does the percentages really matter? It does a little bit. 20% is a lot when you're going this way down. See, look. Now the low roll means that he still ends up around 2,000. Which isn't bad, because that means I should still be able to kill even with very bad cast. The main bad thing here is that if I get 0 Buki cards at the end, I don't really have a good follow-up. So I need him to either die or have, I guess, ask my casters to get in there and get ready. The good thing is that they are getting bonuses from the anti-divinity thing of 50%, and then also writing, because the CE gives you 30%? No, it's 30% if it's max limit broken and 25% if it isn't. I had to look it up because I was debating giving that to Santa Martha to save a turn of stuff, but it ended up being like, no, the 5% actually kind of matters. Did I give everything? Yes, I did. Alright, switch again. So how's your Lotto grind been going as I go through this? Hopefully it's going well. I've already seen some people say like, oh yeah, I'm on 500 boxes, I'm good to stop. That's crazy because there's a bug going on here that's very bad. And that bug is gonna make it. That sounds like a fucking nightmare with the bug. Hopefully they fix it. But it's currently looking like no. They added the advanced quests before ever fixing the bug. If you don't know the bug, I think it's whenever you hit 100 Lotto boxes or something, the game crashes because there's a weird bug where everything kind of gets stuck on screen. So you have to back out and then go back in, which is just kind of annoying to deal with, to be 100% real with you. It's very bad. It's a bad bug. I don't know how it happened. I don't know if it was existed on the JP version of the game. Feel free to tell me if you did, just because I don't play the JP version, so I wouldn't know. Just like there's a stream going on right now. Not right now, but eventually, at some point, they'll have to check out to see what's going on. See what they're trying to hide. I don't want to talk too much about it just because by the time this gets released, we're gonna know. But like they're being super crazy dodgy about like, hey, if you try and put whatever is up online, we're gonna copyright strike you. And it's like, okay, why are you going so hard for this specific one thing? It's the thing I want to know. It's like, why would you go so hard for just this one specific thing? There has to be something huge in there. My idea, I actually was talking it with my brother, so it might actually be his idea originally, and now I'm just co-opting it, is that I was thinking that maybe they're going to bring in a savior of some kind, and they don't want people to know. Because I was thinking, like, they could introduce a new class. They seem to like doing that a whole bunch. But, I don't know. A new class, I think, for most people would be kind of met with. Especially because the ordeal calls are kind of about, you know, without getting too much away with it. It's kind of like the idea of, like, kind of saying... Okay, I don't want to say too much. But the point is that it's very hyper-focused on these specific extra classes. So the idea of them adding new ones... when every single one of them have been so focused on them, it would be kind of weird to me, but I guess we technically don't have Savior. I would never have thought that Savior would ever be put into the game, because it just seems kind of impossible. But they added Beast, so I don't know, what the fuck do I know? At some point, at any point, they could drop a Savior and be like, here you go, here's the anniversary, it's a Savior. It's, female Jesus in a bikini, and we're gonna ask, it's gonna have 6 skills to them, and they're gonna have all, I mean, 6 skills isn't even that impressive. There are some units that actually do have 6 skills, so I'm trying to think about what crazy thing could the Savior have. I don't know. I guess have bonus against everything, but at that point it seems kind of like... At that point it's too powerful. I don't know. It would be weird. But anyway, I doubt it's going to be that. We'll find out, huh? When you see this video, chances are that video will be out and that stream will be over, so you can figure out for yourself. Feel free to tell me what ended up being it. I'll already know, but it does help in... It does help your videos grow when people leave comments. I usually don't ask for them when I do videos like this. When I'm trying to help people, sure, those, okay. But when it's just me playing the game, you don't have to do anything. As long as you're watching the video, I'm happy that you do so. But technically, if I was better at YouTube stuff, I would ask you to leave a like. But, nah, it kind of gets annoying after a while. That's why I only try and do it whenever I'm trying to be helpful in some kind of manner. And I'm like, okay, do it here. And on Shonen Archive, which I have to record a new Shonen Archive Gaiden and check on Zen to see if he's finally free. So we can get back to talking about Gintama. And then I also have to watch a bunch of shows. Unfortunately, I do want to watch a bunch of shows while I'm grinding for Lotto time. But all of them are in Japanese. Very hard to play the game and do the other thing, unless you're doing the auto form stuff, I guess. But I try and put on something I can watch, and there's really not much. I was watching the new, because the new season of it has started, and 2 episodes of it are out. The Rehearsal, which is a really good show. It's a Nathan Fielder show. I never watched Nathan For You, which is funny because it's currently in the news because of the most recent episode. He showed Paramount Plus as a bunch of Nazis in the episode, but it makes sense in the it is. I understand that when Paramount was like, well, he makes a show for us. It's kind of a little bit extreme, don't you think? But even in the episode themselves, they're like, you're just kind of doing something. So if you don't know what The Rehearsal is, I'll try and explain it real quick. It's a show in which he tries to get people to rehearse things, because he says that if you are able to rehearse a bunch of things, you'd be able to confront things that you never thought you would. Like, a lot of the times when you try and confront something and it comes from an awkward place, it's because you don't know the right things to say, you don't know how they're going to react. But if you have a way to rehearse that, you'd be able to have it be done successfully. So for season 1, it was helping a bunch of different people, but for this season, he realized there was something wrong going on in aviation, which is really funny considering I think this filmed before everything that happened. I have to assume I would be very interested to learn as I'm watching through the episode if a lot of the stuff about the election stuff happened post when he decided to do it, but for whatever reason, I'll find out. But it's been very good. The first episode, it's funny because it's a comedy show. It doesn't sound like a comedy show, but it is funny. But the first episode, he said, I have to approach this man with zero comedy. I haven't told him that the way I want to rehearse. So basically, the conceit of season 2 is that he wants to help find the issue about what's going on with the planes crashing, and he has a way to rehearse things. The thing he doesn't want to tell the other dude is that my show's supposed to be a comedy. And the funny bit here is that 10 minutes in, he goes like, I have an even bigger issue because I have a comedy show and this is what I'm doing it for. And I'm in a real bad spot because it's been 10 minutes and it's not been very funny. And I thought that was funny. So, good stuff. I would recommend The Rehearsal if you haven't checked it. I assume most people have seen it. It's really weird to say because I think for the demographic that I likely have with FGO videos, most people... Actually, there was someone who was talking to me about X-Files. So you know what? Never judge a book by its cover. Maybe there are people who are super into just shows in general that are live action. I've been trying to, and failing for the most part, trying to get through Kamen Rider and Super Sentai stuff. I should be starting it up after I finish recording here to do a little bit more. Why am I there you go. Why am I hesitating? Any time wasted is time bad. Anyway, what was I gonna talk about? Yeah, prepare for that party, girl. You go crazy. The fuck was I talking about? Shows. That's what it was. I was trying to see a bunch of Sentai and a bunch of anime stuff as well, just because I'm also trying to learn some Japanese, and it's going at a pace. It's going, I would say, okay. I've I'm recognizing more kanji every other day, but you know, for some things it just takes a while. But I'm feeling pretty okay with my process so far. The idea is to eventually go to Japan at some point and be able to go through there. It's funny because if I was going anywhere else, like if I ever went to like France or something, my ass is not learning French. I'll ask my brother what the fuck Sakura Blue is. What's this mean? And he'll say, I think it means this, and he'll tell me what it actually means. But also, he would probably not be there with me unless he wanted to check it out for whatever reasons. But I think for the most part, he probably want to stick home and hang out with his friends. Another defense down, ignored. Good job. Thank you for the support, Ibuki. This is why I like using you for grinding, even though I have plenty of other choices. It's how supportive you really are when it comes down to it. Yeah, it's funny to think, like, if I were to go to Italy, I wouldn't learn Italian, but for Japanese, I would learn Japanese. Maybe it just helps that I'm super into a bunch of anime and other stuff. I wonder if the same is true probably for Japanese people who are into, like, American stuff. They learn English, or super into, like, for what, maybe they're big fans of King of Fighters, and they're like, you know what, I'm super into the Mexican scene, because I want to know what the hell the name of these guys are that I'm fighting in King of Fighters when I'm going through it. Maybe. Who knows? Going through here. And then we go back. I've also been playing a decent bit of Fatal Fury as well. I finally was good enough. I've been, of course, trying to get better with my dude, Salvatore Ganacci. Famous DJ. It's funny because I think everyone describes him as famous DJ that we don't know, but it's probably because in the very small community in which I exist, it's not really a known thing. But when I asked a friend, have you ever heard of it, who was super into music, he said, oh yeah, I know that guy. So maybe it really is a thing of, it exists so far out of the purview of, if you put a Venn diagram circle, which is people who are into fighting games and people who are into European DJs, it's two different demographics, which is fair enough. I've been using him because he looked really weird and hard to use. And I said, that's usually typically the type of characters I like. And I'll go for them. Sometimes it kind of depends a lot of the time. I think usually I like to go for the harder characters to learn. Because I say to myself, if I learn a hard character, I would have to be better at the game in the context of I have to improve myself because I am playing a character who is harder to play as compared to someone who has it a little bit easier, so I have to pay more attention, and then whenever I do switch off and go to someone else, I'll have an easier time. And so far that's been true. When I was playing with Salvatore Ganacci, it was going very bad. It was a lot of losses. I could not beat the level 3 CPU at the beginning. It was going horrible. It was going bad. I did not know what the hell I was doing, but then eventually I got into the rhythm of things, and I was able to get good enough with him that I can beat the level 3 CPU at the very least, and I was able to go into rank with him and win a couple games after losing a bunch of games. He is still very weird to use, and I also have... is it anxiety? I overthink things. It's not anxiety, because anxiety would make it seem more serious than I think it is. But it's definitely an issue of overthinking, which is something I probably deal with every single day now that I think about it, because I spend a lot of time on videos second-guessing myself and not releasing videos. I think I likely make more videos that I don't release than I make videos that I do release. It's gotten a little bit better nowadays, but it definitely comes into my head of, like, I don't want to release this, I don't want to do this. And that probably goes back, actually, if I were to think about, too, my youth. I was very similar in that way, too. I didn't like showing math homework because I'm bad at math. I didn't like turning it in because I was like, what if it's wrong? I would prefer it. And they always try and drill into your head, it's better to have something that we can grade than give nothing at all. But in my head, I was like, I would rather you not know how good I am at something than I didn't let you know that I failed at this. I know, it's a very weird mindset to have as a child, but it's been with me since then. It's not a good mindset to have either. It's a terrible mindset to have. Absolutely awful. It interferes with so many stuff. It's much easier to just let that go. But I can't, and unfortunately it interferes in a lot of things, so when I do fighting games, I train a bunch, and I try and learn as much as I can, and I can do combos and stuff, but then when I actually go in there and start practicing it in field, I mess up completely. It's only when I enter a state of complete not paying attention do I finally, like, feel confident in my abilities to do stuff, and that's pretty tough, because at that point it has to be so second nature to me that I'm not thinking about it, and I'm able to just do it. Which is the same reason... Actually, that's not the same reason. I don't go onto Marvel Rivals Ranked because it's a fucking shit show. I also don't like losing because it's a team thing. I've never been... I like being in teams because I think teams are fun. But if there's an option to lose, I would prefer to lose by myself than to lose with a team. Because it annoys me when it's me who causes the team to lose, and it's annoying when it's someone else. There's no winning in that. It's all negative. Which is also why I like probably a lot of the games where it's like not necessarily a winner, but it's just a bunch of people hanging out. A lot of the friend type games, like Repo or stuff like that. Those make it a little bit easier for me to do it. I don't have to be super crazy competitive. But I'm not like that with everything now that I think about it. I don't care if I lose in Magic. I think I care... Because I play Commander games when we can. We haven't been able to do it for a bit. But whenever I go in there, I'm fine with losing, as long as I can take someone with me. Which is, I guess, a different mindset. Maybe I don't care as much about the idea of winning in that scenario. I don't know. Deep thoughts here as a dance frolic continues on in the background. As the giant snake slaps him down. It is really weird, by the way, that Summer Ibuki never got, like, another version of an NP on her thing. Not that I necessarily need, like, a new version of the NP, because her NP is the same regardless of what outfit you use. But it is a little bit weird. I don't know what they would have done, though. I guess this is Ibuki regardless of anything. I think it is probably more in character to not change her NP, because she's just like, no, this is how I go out all out in every single form of me. So maybe she's not really one of those characters that does that. That has like a second NP, or like Castoria over here. She's like, it's not really my style. I don't really believe in the second NP. And here she is with a giant rain coming agitating life. With the Orochi. Raito. You're welcome. And yeah, I think that's good for now. I will continue Ooh, 3 drops of the Ash one. I'll continue grinding. If I find more teams to do something with, I'll release another video, but I have to actually get down. Because of Fatal Fury, I actually lost track of time and did not have time to record these yet, but it's going to be going pretty soon. I mean, I don't have much time left. There's only 7 days left, but I'll make sure to record them. And Lotto Farm in the background for the most part. But thank you very much for watching, especially if you watched it all the way through. Wish you the best of luck in Lotto, and I'll see you guys in the next video, wherever it may be. Till next time, peace out. Bye!